Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly episode, and what an exciting week for Diecast. Wow, man, I am actually really stoked, no joke. So Auto World, my favorite brand, announced what could maybe be my favorite casting of all time. It is just unbelievable. If you have not seen the announcement, I'm going to spoil it for you. They are making a Dodge Caravan / Plymouth Voyager casting that's got a bunch of different like front cores and stuff, so they could do a bunch of different versions of it. It's absolutely fantastic news. I am over the moon about it. I have, anytime that we've talked about what castings do you want to see for Auto World, on the Auto World collector group on Facebook, which, by the way, I recommend you join if you're an Auto World fan. Definitely good stuff there. I have brought up the Dodge Caravan. Why? Because I've driven one. I've owned one. I've owned 3 of them, actually. And believe it or not as a family vehicle. I owned it sort of in high school and stuff like that, and shortly after high school as like a band vehicle. Be able to move around equipment, be able to do stuff like that. It was a nice, really cool small van to go play, shows and stuff with the band. You could fit a lot of stuff in there, plus, a bunch of people in there. It was a fun vehicle, we'll just say that. And I miss having one. But anyway, I'm so glad to get one in 1/64 scale and by a brand that's actually going to do it justice, such as my fave, Auto World. So that announcement alone is just, it makes me so happy. It's almost like, it's like, wow, that's the pinnacle of diecast for me. It may seem silly to you guys, but I think it's a genius move on Auto World's part to actually pull this off and do this casting. I think they're going to be very, very successful in selling that. I hope there's going to be hobby exclusive ones. If I had the money to invest in it, I'd come out with my own hobby exclusive of it. I totally would do it. So yeah, maybe I'll try to figure out a way to make that happen. I don't know, probably not, but it would be cool. I mean, this is the casting I would definitely go for. So if you haven't seen it, go check out their Facebook, go check out their Instagram. You can see the 3D printed mock-ups of the tooling, and I'm very, very excited. I think Round 2 for You also has a video on their YouTube channel where you can see the tooling mock-ups as well, and I'm stoked. All right. So, that aside, one more piece of news before we get into the diecast. My buddy Derek Doomus RLC. So if you search Doomus, Doomus RLC, no spaces, fellow Lamley contributor, contributes to my channel actually quite a bit by commenting on these videos and providing a lot of additional information to my videos. He is very, very, extremely knowledgeable in Hot Wheels, vintage Hot Wheels, all sorts of stuff. He's just very, very knowledgeable when it comes to Hot Wheels for sure. He doesn't just collect Hot Wheels though, he collects other brands and stuff like that. He just started a YouTube channel. Go give him some love, subscribe to his channel, check him out. He's fresh onto YouTube, so be nice to get him up and running right away. He's just got such a wealth of knowledge. He provides a different perspective than what I provide on diecast and stuff like that. So it's worth going and checking out his videos. I think he only has like 2 up right now, but undoubtedly his channel will grow, and just really cool. So shout out to him. Thank you very much. All right, let's get into it. I found one thing in a store. We'll show that first, and then I got some other stuff. I bought a bunch of stuff from a Facebook seller. It's one of those build-a-box things. I finally got the box in. The box was huge. I decided not to do a separate video on the box just because my channel content has been a little thin lately because there hasn't been much showing up in stores, yada, yada, yada. You guys know. So I'm splitting the stuff I got up into probably will be a few weekly videos. I'll kind of trickle it in along with anything else I find. So I've got some stuff from that box here, and we're going to look at that. And then we've got this. So I found this. This is the only new thing I found was this Mercedes-Benz diorama set, or whatever that they call it, from Car Culture. Very cool. We are going to open this up. I think this is a really nice set, actually. I think it's actually very, very cool. So I'm excited to show that. We'll do that. I guess people are already finding a newer one. I think it's like a trucks one. Is the newest one that's coming up. People are already finding that. Of course, I'm way behind the curve because my Walmarts in my area are awful as of late. Well, they've always kind of been awful, to be honest, at least for a few years, at stocking new stuff. They just don't get it very often. There was a time where they were pretty much up to par with anywhere else in the U.S. as far as timing goes. Now it's, I don't know, guys. And I got more competition to boot, so there's less supply, there's more demand. It's tough for me to find the stuff. But luckily, there's not many people locally that were really into these, and I was able to find one. All right, so that's cool. All right, we're going to just blast through some other stuff that we're going to be opening up and stuff like that. I got a bunch of loose cars we'll take a look at. Some Johnny Lightning stuff, like this the Z. I got another version of it with different wheels. And I'm just flashing them at the screen because we're going to look at them, of course, in the next segment. Maybe you guys can guess the brand. Maybe I won't even tell you. And then we'll go over it in the second segment. What brand is this? Do you know? Well, you know what this one is. Probably know what that brand is, right? Yeah, that's easy. This one. Love that tooling. It's fantastic. Got one of those. That's cool. One of these. Pretty neat, huh? We got this weird thing. Interesting, huh? I don't even know what brand this is. And then this guy. What's that? I don't know. And then this one. Pretty cool. So there's those. We're going to look at those closer up. I don't know if that's made it interesting to you or not. But yeah, if you want to guess what the brands are, we'll find out in the next segment. I know what most of them are, obviously. We got this guy, a long hauler. Why did I get that? Well, the stupid Dodge Viper. Yeah. Hey, Auto World. You've been doing some cool Dodge stuff lately, okay? Caravan, you got the Daytona or whatever, that casting's coming out. You did the Stealth. It seems like a lot of your new toolings have been Mopar related. Maybe someone should actually do this Viper justice. The RT10? Maybe. Would you guys want to see that? I think it would be pretty awesome. All right, so there's that. We've got this guy. Finally got one of these. Took me a long time to snag one of these, but finally got one. This is the Hot Wheels Hall of Fame series, Milestones, whatever it is. Collector card, special paint jobs, deluxe rubber tires. I don't know. It's a premium from 2002. Oddly, hotwheels.com/eBay. It's got like an eBay logo on the back. That's a little weird. And then we got this. This is a Ford Thunderbolt. I do collect this casting. This is in the 100% Preferred, I think, series. And oddly enough, I just realized now it's on the wrong card. It says 65 Mustang, which this is clearly not a Mustang. It's an error that I don't care about. We're gonna open it because I just want that car. Okay, limited to 15,000 pieces. I think that's accurate for anything that was in this series, probably. I don't know. Derek will probably tell us. And then we've got a couple other 100% series cars. We got the Shelby Series 1. I'm actually stoked to get this tooling. I think it looks pretty cool. So some of these 100% toolings are just fantastic. I wish they would bring some of them back. I don't know if they'd sell well per se to Hot Wheels collectors, but premium diecast collectors, I think might dig them because some of them are really, really nice. We got that one, and then this one, the 63 Plymouth, the Melrose Missile. So we're a little nervous about these because they got the rubber bands on them, and we know that those rubber bands can eat away at paint and stuff like that and leave their mark. So you'll have to stay tuned to find out how much damage has been done to these. So there's that. And then, speaking of package damage, we also have some revealers, carded revealers. And we got some number 12s. And we got a number 9. I think I know what castings these are. I don't know what colors we're going to get. So, well, I'll just, whatever. I think this is the Jaguar XJ220. I'm pretty sure it is. Now, I didn't know for sure when I got these off that Facebook seller, but he was selling them cheap enough, I just went and grabbed a few. And the same with this one. This is number 9. I think this is a Porsche, but I'm not sure. So I'm just, I'm basing that right now on the way it looks. So we'll see if I'm right. All right, and that's it. So I do have a bunch of other stuff. And I'll just sneak something to you real quick. I do also have these. This is the other Riverside Show Auto World square bodies. So we are going to take a look at those, but I'm going to do a separate video on them just because I think it'll be worth it to check them out. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to check out some of this stuff. The revealers, all that stuff. It's going to be fun. All right. Let's go ahead and flip the camera around. Let's take a peek. Again, check out Derek Dumas, RLC on YouTube. And go to Auto World's Instagram and check out that sweet caravan casting that I am pumped about. All right, let's flip the camera around and let's take a look at this stuff. Okay, let's dig into this Mercedes set. I don't know if this you guys are really into looking at this or not. It's just... these diorama sets are cool. The thing I don't like about it, and I've said it multiple times, is the truck. I don't have room for all these things. I'm running out of room for all these trucks and stuff like that with the Hot Wheels Team Transport and then these that come with a truck. It's a great idea. I do like it. Gosh, if you collect this stuff carded, having to hold on to this stuff like in the package for a long period of time, good luck to you. This takes up as much space as a 1/18 scale car. And that's the reason why, well, besides the price and how expensive those things are, why I don't collect 1/18 scale cars, because I don't have room, right? So pretty cool. The diorama image in the background actually does look pretty nice. They did like a good job with the packaging and kind of a forced kind of perspective look. I don't think it's really much you could use for photography, but we may, oh my goodness, we may keep this intact anyway. I should have known that this is a nightmare under here. So hold tight. All right, here we go. So here's the truck. Yippee ki-yay. Carry on. Yeah. I don't know. It looks cool. It's a decent looking thing. We got a little bit of the gap here. Can we bend that back into shape? It looks a little better. But there you go. It's the truck. I told you I'm not excited about it, so there you go. I'm not excited about it. And then, honestly, okay, so I'm going to go from worst to first, maybe. So this is cool. This looks all right. Yada, yada, yada. I'm not too into this Mercedes. In general, you guys, I'm not a big, Mercedes guy. It's okay. Stylistically wise is how I talk about cars, right? I don't really talk about them from a performance aspect, all that stuff. I really, nostalgia, style, just how they look is basically the most of what I'm into, right? So I know it's weird to you, right? But it's more like kind of how a child looks at a car. Kids like cars because they look cool, right? They're not going to like cars because of, horsepower, top speed specs, whatever. The technology behind them. Now, I do respect the technology, and I do watch a lot of car YouTube channels and stuff like that get dorky about that stuff. I like anything pretty much nerdy and that gets into the nitty-gritty details. It is fun. I do enjoy it. I'm just not super knowledgeable about it. And when I collect Diecast, the cars that I like are the cars that mean something to me in some way or just look very, very aesthetically pleasing. Now, this does look good. It is a good-looking car. I'm just not big into newer Mercedes styling. Now, we got this guy, which is absolutely fantastic. I actually have I have a Kyosho of one of these that I really, really like. And I think Hot Wheels did a good job with this thing, this Sauber C9. So, really cool to see this. And it's got a removable piece, which is pretty awesome. We got some really nice molded detail in the back there. And it does look really good. I think they did a really good job with this. The wing is nice and straight because they didn't have to like cram it into a package. Since it was rubber banded down, the wing is nice and straight. That is a really cool detail right there. It just looks really awesome in the silver. I think for what Hot Wheels can do with their premium line, budget concerns with toolings and stuff like that, I think they did a great job with this one. I don't know. Do you guys agree? I mean, I'm really digging it, actually. I think that's really awesome. And I guess I'm not really going from worst to first because these last two are pretty much a tie. This one looks the most appropriate, I think, on the trailer, maybe. This thing, though, is awesome. Why do I like it so much? The color of it. In person, this looks so good. Very simple graphic, just a number 9 on there, the striping on the hood, stuff like that. We got all the other little details and stuff like that. This is a fantastic Hot Wheels premium model, I must admit. So I really like this. The cream color of it, it just looks so good. I honestly can't say enough good things about this. This looks really, really good. For a premium model, this is definitely going to be a really cool one to have in the collection. I love the vintage style racing stuff. From, you know, especially race cars. So race cars, I really like the styling of the vintage stuff. And this thing is right up there for me. Was something that I will definitely enjoy in my collection. So I really, really like that one. So that kind of gets my favorite, even though I do really like this one as well. I just think they really knocked it out of the park with just this basic, beautiful looking car. So that's awesome. All right, so that's all we got for modern stuff. So I guess now we're going to get into modern stuff. You know, obviously by that I mean stuff you can find in the store these days. We're going to go to this stuff. By the way, you guys, if you're not on Facebook, joining groups and stuff like that for people that sell on Facebook, there's a bunch of people out there that buy collections and sell. You can score things for really good deals on there. And it's if you're patient and can build a box and then get it all shipped to you at once, you can save money on shipping, all that stuff. You can find some really cool stuff. Now, I'm not going to lie either, though. It is a slight amount of a gamble because you just don't know exactly, especially if you're a carded collector, what kind of quality you're going to get from the card and stuff like that. You just don't know, and it's hard to know just from based on one picture, right? And the seller doesn't typically have time to be very descriptive about card art and stuff like that. So it is a bit of a gamble for you carded guys. Loose guys, you can find a lot of good deals, especially because you don't care about the card. So copyright date 2002 on this one. Very cool. If you want to, I don't know, if you want to read that, I suppose that's optional. Optional reading for you. This as well. But this car should be somewhat familiar to you. The GT40 casting from Hot Wheels is decent. It's not bad. It's definitely an older tooling, and I do collect it. Like any version of it that I can find that I don't already have, I tend to pick it up. It comes with this little card here. We already looked at the back of it, but there it is again. So it is very cool. Now, Auto World came out with this car as well. I think it's a Miho exclusive, this black one. With gold, and it's one of the best Auto World releases of the GT40 for sure. I don't have it out to compare it to this one, but this is just so very cool. Plastic base, rubber tires, metallic gold wheels. The graphics on it are crisp. The old style of how they did that, and it's a good looking car. So I'm glad to have it. One of the better versions of this casting that are out right here. Very, very cool. All right, so set that aside. And, you know, just proportionately, this gives you a hint, too, because, like, how well this newer casting is done from a tooling perspective, You know, when did this tooling come out? I think they only, like 20, yeah, it did last year, right? Like, there's been a couple versions of it. You know, compared to the size of this one, and like the proportions of this one, and this tooling came out like, yeah, so copyright date 1999. So the technology has just gotten better with that, with the tooling stuff. All right, so there's that. Let's take a look at a couple of Lucy's real quick. So these are the ones where you had to guess the brand, right, in the first segment of the video. Well, this is a Johnny Lightning. I think I might have said that right away, though. 2 different wheel variations. I actually got to check, but I think I already have this one. This one I know for sure I did not have. This has plastic wheels. Kind of weird. Other than that, they are the same color. Oh, interior color is different. This one's a lighter gray than this one. It's a decent tooling from Johnny Lightning. I think I have almost every version of it, besides like a couple of weird ones. So there's that. This I just picked up. So some of these I paid just a couple bucks for it. This one... So here you go. So I would have saw this loose probably in a jammer, and I decided I wanted it. But you know what? It turns out I already have one, and I have one mint. So this was completely unnecessary, I think, for me to purchase. And obviously it's got some playware and stuff like that. So this one won't be staying in the collection. I'll throw this in a loose bin or whatever, bring it to a meet, and maybe somebody will pick it up for like $1 or whatever. So there's that. This guy right here is a Greenlight. You know, at first glance, you almost would think it was a Jada by the way this thing looks, with that little tiny pizza cutter tires in the front, and then the big fat meats in the back, set up to drag. This one is, obviously a Challenger. So it's an older Greenlight, and you can tell that basically because of that green post. Copyright date 2009, copyright date 2008 on the actual tooling. So an earlier Greenlight, and a very cool one, actually. I think this is really neat. This one's got an opening hood, you can see there. Pretty cool. And yeah, I think it's a cool one. So I didn't have it, and I dig it. Next is this guy. What brand is this? This is a Johnny Lightning GTO. Kind of a cheeseball graphic on the side. That fireball. Take a look at the base here. Metal base, of course. Metal body, rubber tires. This one should have an opening hood as well. But it is definitely, like, it even appears to be painted shut, so I'm not even going to mess with that. But it's a GTO, and I collect all the GTO toolings basically from Johnny Lightning. At least not the. There's only like 1 or 2 I don't collect, but this is one of them I do. So I didn't have this one in my collection, so I'm glad to check it off. So there's that, and then let's stick with JL for a little bit. This guy, another casting I collect from Johnny Lightning. I love this tooling. Turns out I already have this car though, so this one will end up on the block at a local meet. Looks like we got a little bit of a stance issue with it anyway. That's probably fixable because I think it's just the axle that's doing that. Got a little lean to her. I think that axle is just bent. Probably fixable. This one has a opening hood. I love this casting. I love this tooling. This is just a good example of some cool stuff that Johnny Lightning does. So I like that a lot. And let's see what's next here. This weird thing. I don't know what this is. I just thought it looked kind of neat. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick that up. Man, this thing rolls like you would not believe. It is a metal body, plastic base. Kenner Products. Cincinnati, Ohio. Made in Hong Kong. Is this like a... What does it say there? It's hard to read that stuff with the... Let's see. Fast something. I can't read that. Can you read that? Yeah. Well, we're just going to give up on that. Anyway, someone will know in the comments down below what this is from. I just thought it was interesting, so I picked it up. It's a weird little off-brand fantasy car thing. Oh, it's got a Tennessee plate on it. Okay. Is that supposed to say, like, Nash? NES 17? Am I missing something? Probably. Wouldn't be the first time. All right, so there's that. Weird tooling. Ended up picking her up. This guy, Racing Champs, Camaro. I don't know why I grabbed this one. I just thought it looked goofy. Beautiful paint job on this thing. You know, these colors just go real well together. Gold, purple, black, bright green. And an ugly gray base. I don't know. I'm not really sure why. And then we got this guy here. This is a Greenlight. Chrysler 300 SRT. Tooling number 74. It's got a metal base. This one does not have an opening hood. It does have inserted details for headlights. It's got painted details for taillights. This thing's in good shape, save for the edges of the mirrors. We got some chips on both, which is slightly disappointing. And again, like I said, some of this stuff is a gamble. You really don't know what you're going to get. This thing's been banging around in a jammer for a long time, so who knows. All right, there's that. So I would say try to be caution yourself on buying stuff with side mirrors, right? So this looks like it's okay. This I don't know what it is. It's smaller than 1/64 scale for sure. It's a Dodge Magnum. It'll kind of fit well with a 1/64 scale collection, but I don't know what this is from. It looks like it possibly was screwed down to a base. It just says Dodge Magnum, copyright DCC 2005, made in China. RS on the bottom here. What is that? Does that look familiar? That logo kind of looks familiar to me. The base is screwed in, so you could take this apart. The odd thing is all these tires are split. So this one's split there. That one is split there. I think all four of them are split. So that's a little weird. I think that's from either like just the rubber drying out, or I'm not really sure. Or it almost looks like they've been slashed or something. I don't know. It's weird that all four of them would be split. Maybe the tires were just too small for the rims, and then eventually they all just gave way at one point in time. I would guess that's from them drying out, maybe, or I don't know. This thing's got a lot of detail, though. Inserted details for the headlights. It's got some decent sharp details in the grille there, and you got the painted rear, but you actually got window like molding detailed in as well. So it's got quite a bit of detail, and that's why I got it. I thought it was weird. Thought it'd be interesting to look at, and here we are looking at it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, of course. All right, so I think that's it for the loose stuff. Let's get this monstrosity out of the way right away. Yeah, Dodge Viper long hauler. These were sold at Kmart for $3.99 according to the sticker. Yeah, the package is yellowed and stuff. Whatever, it's a yellow car. It's got a 2-year limited warranty. Arco Toys, a Mattel company. We've got copyright date 1998 on the bottom. We've got other things that were available there. So the neat thing about these long haulers, if you collect some of these older castings and stuff, they're going to have some exclusives that undoubtedly came out in this line. One of these lines, like the long haulers, they've come up with a pavement pounders, a bunch of different ones. Now, of course, I don't want the truck. My children will gladly take the truck, though, and play with it. I want the Dodge Viper, of course, which is a casting I collect. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know that. This thing's got a million variations out there, and I just slowly chip away at them as I find them. So got this thing cheap, and usually you can find these things probably pretty cheap. But got this yellow Viper. It's got like next to zero detail. Yeah, you get a Hot Wheels logo tampo on there, and that's on the windshield, and that's going to be all she wrote. Moving on. All right. And let's see. We got some detail. We're going to save the revealers for last, I think. Let's do this last carded piece, and then we got the 2 Hot Wheels 100% yet. So, again, this one, card error. These came out 2002 is the copyright date. These are the other vehicles that were available. I'm slightly confused. Ford GT40, Custom 50 Ford Wagon, 65 Mustang, and the purple what? Maybe this is just a screw up. Did these all come out like this with Mustang on the card? Because it's not even in the series, in the Ford series. Maybe at the last minute this 65 Mustang was replaced. Somebody let me know that. Somebody's going to know that. Maybe it's not. Well, technically, it's an error for sure, but maybe it's an error of more mammoth proportions than just one car that was been carded incorrectly. Interesting. All right, so it's a Ford Thunderbolt. It's not a Mustang by any stretch of the imagination. And it's a good version of this tooling. So it's kind of like a, it's just an enamel white, not really a pearl at all. You got Thunderbolt on the side, 427 there on the side. It's a plastic-based, chrome-based car, but it's got rubber tires, Goodyear tires as well. Got your classic Rail Rider tire, classic Rail Rider rim. And, I'm going to say it looks good. Just didn't have it, so glad to add this one to the collection. Check this one off. I just love the Thunderbolt. I just thought it was a cool looking car. And, so, I'm a fan. All right, what should we do next? Let's do the 63 Plymouth. This guy here. This has got multi-piece collector quality, guys. And the cool thing about the multiple pieces that they used to put together this car, they usually, even older, these things have been knocked around and all sorts of stuff. Jumping in and out of bins, sold from hand to hand. These things are getting a little old now. How long have they been around? This particular one, I'm looking for a date. Always fun to try to find. Oh, maybe we'll find it there. 1998. So, 24 years ago, something like that. Made in China. And, none of the pieces are floating around inside of the package. Granted, these are I don't even know how much these things cost in the store. That would be interesting to know, because how much did these things cost when you find them? Were these available at, department stores? And if they weren't, because they weren't just HotWheelsCollectibles. I don't think .com, right? They were, this is for the adult collector, but these were available in store, right? And the quality and quality control of them seems to be pretty good. Hot Wheels Mail Stop. Hey, complete this information and return it to us. Your name will then be on file as an official Hot Wheels collector. We've seen that before. This also has a 90-day limited warranty. That's valid only in the U.S. So just in case you get one that stops working, you have some recourse. Comes with kind of a little diorama thing that's completely sun-faded. Look at how dusty this packaging is. And yet the casting is good. The pieces are still connected. We have obviously a deteriorated rubber band here, so let's see what kind of damage that has caused. Hopefully none. She's just crumbling all over. Ooh, we got a little bit of damage right there. Now, actually, I don't know if that's damage or if that's just residual rubber band that's still stuck to it. I may have to explore it a little bit, but we got a little damage there. Well, you know what? It's an old race car, right? So you'll have that. Don't get little damage, or an old drag car, whatever this was. And the other challenge with these is getting the screws out. Now, a lot of times these have been like torqued way tighter than they would ever need to be. And I've said this several times, but I recommend for any of these, you use a flathead screwdriver instead of a Phillips. You are much less likely to strip it out. You just got to get one that's just wide enough to fit in one of the slots, and you'll have more success, trust me, than trying to use a Phillips on one of these. You will just strip that screw out and then end up having to get a drill, and you'll end up like just being frustrated and all of that. I've been there before. I'm speaking from experience. So these should be fairly close to a true 1/64 scale. Somewhat close anyway, I'm guessing. And they got quite a bit of detail. If you're not familiar with the 100% line, get yourself one. You're just going to have to watch out. This is the worst you're going to get is going to be rubber band damage. And this is definitely just, that graphic has been eaten away basically by the rubber band on both sides. Is it good enough to stay in my collection? Absolutely. The International Champion. It's got drivers on the side. We've got an opening hood, motor in there. So it's got so this is a separate piece up front. Here's a separate piece back here. Now they do just paint the headlights on here. I think some of the headlights for some of these cars were inserted pieces. But I do have quite a few of the 100% line in my collection. I've got actually quite a few cars, and maybe someday we'll do a video on them. But very, very cool. Now they do just tampo that hood. There's no actual hole there. There's an Auto World version of like the Polara or whatever that does have that. That hood's actually open. That's very cool. But this is really neat too. Very, very, very cool. I like that. I love this stuff. Again, this vintage style kind of graphics and stuff like that. I just love it. Absolutely. All right. We're going to follow that up with the Shelby Series 1. That's also in the Hot Wheels 100% line. Limited edition for the adult collector. How much were these in stores, guys? Let me know. Shelby Series 1. Try to find a date on this guy. 2000. So 22 years old. This thing's old enough to drink. And let's go ahead and get this open. Packaging's all pretty much cardboard, so that's kind of cool too. It's not plastic that you got to cut open and all that jazz. Recyclable, all that fun. And you get the acrylic case, which is also kind of cool. I don't hang on to these acrylic cases for these, mostly because they're always like trashed by the time I get them. Plus, even though with these separate pieces and stuff like that, these things are pretty durable. Alright, so let's get the screws out of this one. So we got a little bit of rubber band still stuck to the car. So I'm a little nervous about that. Screws are out. Let's get some focus here. Maybe even some little bit of zoomage. I think this is a cool looking car, personally. I just do. I like it. Let's get this rubber band. Ooh, she's so crusty. You can kind of see where the rubber band was right there, but for the most part you got away unscathed. That makes me happy. This car's cool. So very detailed again. It would definitely benefit this vehicle to have some inserted details for the headlights. That would look much better than the painted detail, but for the time, man, this is done really well. For what was available. I want to think the hood opens this way, but it doesn't, does it? Oh, it does. There you go. Some decent molded detail underneath there. That's pretty cool. The wheels look cool. The thing rolls. I don't know. This is awesome. I like it. This is definitely a welcome addition to the collection. Definitely. So there is just some cool stuff to be had that has been around for a really long time, and this counts. All right, you guys, it is time to reveal. Start with the number 9, Revealers. These came out when? Where is the 1992 copyright date? It'd be fair to say it's probably around then. 93 maybe. These were available at Payless at $2.51 at the time of the original purchase. And let's open it up. So the Revealers were cool. So it tells you, first of all, there's instructions. We are not going to follow them. Oh, and you do also get a free Dairy Queen, right, cone. There's a coupon on the back of this you can cut out. You know what's funny? I should go show up to Dairy Queen with one of these. This literally does... Oh, it does say it expires. Sorry, it expires in 94. That'd be funny if it didn't have an expiration date on it. Be like demanding, I want a free cone. Give me it now. So, collector's guide, checklist kind of thing. This explains to you that you dip this thing, I believe, in water, and this bag here deteriorates inside water, and eventually you get to car. Now, we might get some paper stuck to these, and if we do, it's okay. Typically, we can clean that up. I'm not going to obviously do that on camera, but, okay, and I was right on this one. It is a Porsche. But generally, the paper didn't damage the car at all, but we might see it kind of stuck to the car. And here it is. So, fun fact, I had one of this exact one in my collection as a kid. And you can see we got some paper stuck to the car. I will be able to clean that up and get that off without damaging the vehicle. I should be able to. I've done it before. I'll do it again. As many times as I need to, but that should be curable. Pretty cool Porsche 911 or 930, what have you. 911, 930. Silly Porsche numbering system. All right, so there's that, and then next we get the, I believe this is a Jaguar XJ220. And we got 3 of them. We're going to go ahead and just open them all up quick. And just silly to leave these things in the package this long, guys. Because, you know, luckily I believe these bags are, like I said, you can easily clean this stuff up and salvage them. But this is why you open cars, though. Stuff like this, because you just don't know what this stuff is going to do over time. These bags are crispy. I know they're meant to dissolve in water. So, yes, I am correct. We got the Jaguar. I'm hoping that we got all 3 colors of this. So we got the red. That's the other thing cool about these Revealer cars. They came in some wild paint schemes that are very, very 90s era stuff. So, and, oh, shoot. That's the other thing. You just don't know. You just don't know. Womp womp. I'm really hoping this third one's not the same. Sweet. It's not. Purple. So, I think I already had that purple one, though. So, I'm missing one color of this. I think it's blue. But, truth be told, I think I got a loose one coming in the next batch from this same seller. So, there we go. I will have all of them. All right, and that is it for this video. So, a nice long one for you guys today. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. Some interesting stuff to show. I will have some definitely have some cool stuff next week to show you. You know, try to keep the content rolling in. We've got I got a local meet coming up, so that's always good. I always get some neat stuff there. So we got that to look forward to. And yeah, really cool stuff, guys. All right, thank you guys so much for watching these long videos. I know they're long and all that good stuff, but hopefully I try to make them interesting and hopefully you find them interesting. But thank you guys again very, very much for watching. Can't be thankful enough. And hey, we'll see you in the next week. Thank you. Bye.